Welcome everyone. We're going to be talking about the accessibility options in Windows 10, now called ease of access. To access the ease of access in Windows 10, you need to launch the Settings app by clicking Start, type in Settings, scroll down to the bottom of it, and you will find Ease of Access. Click on it, and then you will be presented with the Ease of Access set of utilities, previously called accessibility options. As you can see on the left pane, they are organized in three sections. The vision settings, where you will find display, mouse pointer, text cursor, magnifier, color filters, high contrast, and narrator. The hearing options, where you will find audio and closed captions, and the interaction section, where you will find the speech, keyboard, mouse, and eye control options. By default, the display options are presented, and on the right, you can see how you can set the font size to the preferred option. For example, let's move it to 160, hit apply. You'll see how all the text in the screen are in the larger size. You can go back to 100%. You also have several hyperlinks that will be navigating to other applications where you can set settings. So for example, you can change the size of applications and text on other displays. If you click on that, you're now on the display options on the settings app, where you have options like the night light settings, where you can set night light on and off. You can configure custom scaling factors, display resolution settings per displays, if you have multiple displays, etc. And in this particular case, as you can read, the custom scale factor is set. Now, if we want to modify the scaling settings, we can click on that, and then we can see how a custom scaling size could be set, or we can let Windows to set it on automatically. Now, if we go back, we will gonna need to go back twice to go back to the ease of access options. Do not confuse the regular display settings options in this case. So back on the ease of access display options, if you scroll to the bottom, then you will see more options to like simplify and personalize windows. You can select whether to show animations in Windows or transparency and etc. The next option on the left is the mouse pointer. If you click on mouse pointer, you're going to be presented with an option to set the pointer size. You can make it something big or small. You can set the color, black, inverted, particular color, like blue, big blue. You can also set the touch feedback. If you hit on it, look at when I hit my touch screen on different options on the left pane, I get a larger visual feedback, like a darker black dot in the middle of it. If I go back to pointer options, I'm gonna uncheck it and click again. Now the visual feedback is minimal. And the next option is the text cursor. Text cursor, you can set it on and off to have an indicator of the cursor. You can make it larger or smaller. You can also pick a custom color for the cursor, and even make the cursor where thickness level being thicker. The next option is one of the most commonly used utilities called the magnifier. And in this case, it will magnify or zoom in the information in the display if you have some visual impairing needs. So you can read it down here. You can use the Windows logo key and the plus sign to turn the magnifier on, or the Windows logo key and the escape sign to turn it off, or simply toggling it in here. So if you toggle it on, it would magnify the zoom level to the percentage that is selected, in this case 200%, or you can set it to a larger percentage, 400 percentage, etc. And if you want to exit from the magnifier, again, you can toggle this off, or you can just simply say Windows key escape. We'll turn that off automatically. Well, as you notice, what this percentage means. You can do that, or you can change the increment. So if it's too big, 100% of the time, you can go 50% on any increments. So you can go 350, 400, instead of a whole 100%. Then you have some other options, like you can start the magnifier as soon as you sign in, or you can start the magnifier before everybody is signed into the computer. And you also have an option for color inversion that we'll be discussing in the next few sections. But to test it out, we can do again Windows key, plus sign, magnifier started, and then we can do invert colors. And now we have the magnifier with the color inversion selected. Make it smaller, then exit. Then you have more options to configure the magnifier at the bottom of the screen. The next option are the color filters. In the color filters, you can turn it on or off. So if you hit the toggle, it will turn it on, and then you have different options regarding color filters. You can have inverted colors, which is the reverse colors on the display. You can set it to grayscale. You can set it to grayscale inverted. Or you can set a combination of the red, green, and blue. In this case, you can have like red and green only, or red and green, or blue and yellow, and etc. You can turn it off, and we'll go back to the default. Next option is the high contrast. The high contrast, you can once again turn it on by selecting the toggle or following the keyboard combination that's presented there. This takes some time in the display to adjust to the high contrast, and once it's selected, as you can see, it will modify the display so that it's in the high contrast mode. Then you have different themes that you can select from the list. This is a high contrast number 1. You can select number 2, black and white. All right, and you can also customize it to the needs that you may have. If you want to modify this color to, I don't know, something bluish here maybe, and hit done. Then the disabled text is that color. Once you're satisfied with your high contrast settings, you can hit apply, and then that will be applied to the current configuration, or you can just hit off to toggle off and return the windows to the default. The next option is called the narrator, and for this option, I'm not going to be talking. I'm just going to let the narrator to talk to you guys. And in a nutshell, it's a utility that allows to narrate the content on the screen. So I'm going to turn it on.
Narrator dialog. OK. Button. Alt plus O. Heads up. Narrator keyboard changes. We've updated the narrator keyboard layout so it more closely matches the experience you may have had with other screen readers. Settings window. Narrator heading level 1. Scan. Welcome to Narrator. This is Narrator Home, where you can get help, access your settings, and learn about new features. Exiting Narrator.
Okay, turned it off. Then you have some other options for the narrator where you can select the shortcut key to get it started. If you want to get it started automatically for you, for everyone, same as before. And you can also personalize the voice you want to listen to. That was Microsoft David. Say you want to go with Zira. Let's start it again. Let's see how that is different.
Narrator dialog. OK. Button. Alt plus O. Heads up. Narrator keyboard change. Exiting narrator.
All right, and then you can also customize the speed and the pitch and the volume of the voice of the narrator and some other options that you can continue learning about after this video for yourself. And that concludes the vision section. Now we're going to be looking at the hearing section. In the hearing audio options, you have a selection to set the device volume that you want to be used as a default. You can also turn on the mono audio if you don't want to have it in stereo. And also if you have audio alerts, you can have the audio alerts visually displayed. You can have no visual, which is the default. You can flash the title bar of the window or the active window. You can flash the active window, the whole window, or you can flash the entire screen when there is an audio alert. Another nice option to use for hearing abilities is the closed captions. The closed captions allows you to present the captions on the screen instead of playing audio. So when you have the caption selected, the caption options are selected, you can select the color, the transparency level, style of the caption, the size of the caption, effects, if you want to have any effects, if it's raised, press, etc., with shadows or no shadows. You can have a background color for the closed caption and the transparency as well. Next section is the interaction section. The first option during interaction is the speech option. In this case, you can turn on speech recognition, and the first time you do that, you're going to be presented with the wizard where you're going to be setting up the microphone and will instruct the AI algorithm in Windows to get familiar with your voice and other settings. And once it's done, you get the speech recognition dialog, as you can see on the top of the screen. Now you can turn it on. Open control panel. Devices and printers. I'm going to turn that off. As you can see, you can navigate and you can manage your computer by using your voice. The next option during interaction is the keyboard option. In the keyboard option, you can use the on-screen keyboard. If you select on, you can use it to type. So for example, if you have Notepad here, I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to type something. And this is how the on-screen keyboard works. I'm going to close it here. You also have options to set the sticky keys on and off. This is to prevent the same key being repeated multiple times. So if you set it on, it will be one keyboard or shortcut key at a time. Toggle keys, it will be playing a sound every time you hit the caps lock or the num lock or the scroll lock keys. If you are hitting the same key multiple times repeatedly, you can set the filter keys on to avoid that. You also have an option, for example, if you can use the print screen, in this case, to launch the snipping, so you can snip the screen by using the print screen. So next one option on the left is the mouse option. In the mouse option, you can, if you have a numeric keypad, you can use the arrow keys to move as if it was the mouse. So you can set that on and off. Then some options about pointer speed and acceleration. And the last option under interaction is the eye control. If you have an eye tracking device connected to your machine, you can use it to move your eyes as if it was the mouse. And this concludes the ease of access walkthrough in Windows 10. Thank you for watching.